All right, welcome to today's race is presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stanton Salter along with Naomi Tucker. Big Saturday show to get to. First race post time 110 for our 11 race card. Four $100,000 stake races. The stakes action starts race 5. Nice carryover in our Rainbow Pick 6. That's almost 15,000, Naomi. That starts in race 6. I have a ticket for that. Some top 3-year-olds in the private terms. We're the only game in town. Live horse racing coast to coast. Some big Triple Crown prep races, and we have some big action here. You're looking awful bright. You're looking nice, sharp, ready to roll. How are you?
Ready to roll indeed. So excited about today. Great racing here at Laurel Park. Wish we could have an audience, but as you mentioned, we should be lucky to still be running. Only sport currently still broadcasting in the USA, so come along, bet with us, bet with the First Bet app, and have some fun. And super excited about the Rebel Stakes and the other 3-year-old preps today as well. There's going to be some high-class action across the nation.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's queue up Damon that First Bet app board. Well, okay, here's the Stronach 5. Let's talk about the Stronach 5. It started race 7 yesterday. Race 7 was won by Reflect. Reflect gets a 74 Buyer speed figure to kick off the Stronach 5. She was a 560 winner. Then you had Robbie Bales with the first-time starter, Skyjacked by Colonel John, a $10 winner in leg B, and then you had a $14 winner. You like that horse in leg E at Gulfstream. I was out the first couple legs of the Stronach 5. A nice payout, though, almost a little over 2,900 in yesterday's Stronach 5.
Yeah, it's a great payout indeed. And as we always mention, so much action from different tracks. So a really good bet. Industry low 12% takeout. And as you can see, some nice bigger shot horses came in, which really ups the value for what you get for your ticket.
All right, so that was yesterday for the Stronach 5. Let's queue up that First Bet board. Tell people how they can bet. Everybody watching on the live stream, laurelpark.com. You can watch the live stream. You can check out Naomi and I's picks and multi-race tickets. They're under the handicapping section on laurelpark.com. And tell people how they can get this $100 match from First.com Bet.
So it's a special offer by First Bet, which is the official handicapping partner of the Maryland Jockey Club. If you sign up and you deposit $100, they match it with another $100 if you use the promo code FIRSTMJC. So there's one STMJC, all one word. So do sign up, get going, because if you're at home because we can't work or whatever currently is going on due to the coronavirus, come and join the action with us because you can actually still make money from home betting on all the stakes action here today.
All right, so First.com/bet, the official handicapping and betting app of the Maryland Jockey Club. Get that $100 match. All right, let's get right back on track here. Yesterday, Let's Play 9 overcame the rail post, going 7 furlongs. Nice ride by Trevor McCarthy. McCarthy won 2 yesterday. Let's Play 9 fired a 79 Buyer speed figure for Country Lay Farm and Mike Trombetta.
Yeah, very strong winner there. I think we both really like this horse, and it's good to see him come back and do it again. And of course, Trevor McCarthy on a roll. It seems to be nearly every day that at least he rides one or multiple winners. We had a couple of weeks ago, they had 2 days consecutive triples. So him riding a double yesterday is not a surprise, but more confirming who's the top dog here in town.
So McCarthy with 2 wins yesterday. How about the Russell team yesterday? Trainer Brittany Russell and her husband Sheldon Russell, the jockey. They had a 2-win day yesterday. They could have a big day today as well. I like them on top in the private terms.
I've actually put mine, not mine, on top in the private terms as well, because speaking to Brittany Russell, she said that he's actually come along a bit from his last race in the wide country. And as you mentioned, they are on fire. The Brittany Russell, Sheldon Russell team are doing incredibly. Last time I checked, they were hitting at least 35% winners. So better watch out for them.
All right, so good stuff. All right, so that's all yesterday. Get that out of the way. Let's get right to it. Nice carryover in the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6. That's going to start race 6 today on the Big 11 race program. There it is, $14,583. I have a $48 Rainbow Pick 6 ticket. I key on the 2, Always Mining, race 9 to Harrison Johnson. You can check out my Pick 6 ticket and my early Pick 5 ticket. Naomi has an early Pick 4 ticket. All of her picks are on the website, laurelpark.com, underneath the handicapping section. You're already on the site watching the live stream, so check out our picks and check out our plays of the day. So Pick 6 action, that's going to start in race 6 today. Let's tell you about the 4 $100,000 stake race races we have today. It's National Pie Day, Stakes Day, 314 here, mid-March, beautiful weather. The stakes action starts race 5 today with the $100,000 Nellie Morse. Then race 7 is the $100,000 Beyond the Wire. Race 9 is the $100,000 Harrison E. Johnson with the Maryland bred champ, always mining in there. And then top 3-year-olds of the country in the $100,000 private terms going a mile and a 16th. I have mine that mine on top. Lebda's going to be tough in there. Yeah, Big City Bob took charge. And don't forget about the Todd Pletcher Curlin Colt in there. Awesome Party with Trevor McCarthy aboard. I use Awesome Party in my exact at a big price in the private terms today.
Well, it's definitely a lot of action to look forward to. And as you mentioned, some nice 3-year-olds coming back in here. 3-year-old fillies in the Beyond the Wire, 3-year-old colts in the private terms. To me personally, that's always what I'm looking forward to. Really like to see that classic generation, especially as some of them do go on and win some bigger stakes as well. And it seems that the Beyond the Wire private terms are some preps for some of the bigger stakes that come up later in the season, such as the Black Eyed Susan and some of the other stakes we have. So it's been good.
Absolutely. Last year you had Always Mining, won the private terms, then he won the Tessio, went to the Preakness, and now he's a champion Maryland-bred 3-year-old. He's undefeated as a 4-year-old. So, yeah, you'll see some big action from the 3-year-olds from today's private terms and Beyond the Wire stakes. Let's tell you about the big Saturday coming up, the third Saturday in May. Everybody knows about Preakness 145, the middle jewel of the Triple Crown, the People's Race, the People's Party. Tickets on sale for Preakness 145 and Black Eyed Susan Day, which is Friday, May 15th. Go to Preakness.com for all your tickets and information for both Black Eyed Susan and Preakness Day. Enfield Fest lineup is out. Hopefully we'll be all good come Triple Crown season. Let's get right to it. We have a big show for you today. We'll spend a little time on the undercard races. We have a lot of information, a lot of video spotlights and interviews to show you for all 4 stake races. We're also going to cover races 1 and 4. Race 1's a nice maiden special weight, and then race 4 is that starter allowance going a mile and a quarter. I'm looking forward to race 4, but let's get right to it. Let's show you a picture of the main track. They're working on it. It'll be perfect. It'll be a fair playing fast track when we kick off post time here in about 59 minutes. Weather right now 51, but it's going to get warmer. It's going to be up in the 60s, I believe. Going to be beautiful weather out here today. Unfortunately, the fans can't be out here, but you can watch on our live stream, laurelpark.com. Let's get right to it here. Race 1, a nice maiden special weight for straight 3-year-olds going a flat mile. Heavy favored in this race that I'm totally against. He's in the wrong race. He would have been 3 to 5. He would have been 1 to 5 going 3/4 yesterday. Why they're stretching him out to a mile today, I have no idea. But with that said, let's show you the debut of Al Brown, the 3 to 5 choice here in race 1. Let's show you the race from February 16th. He breaks from the 1 hole in his debut assignment. That's tough to do. He doesn't break very well. There he's last coming out of the gate. We'll show it to you one more time. All right, breaks just kind of stands a little bit and breaks slow. So that was his first start. He overcomes the poor start though and has a wide trip. You see him kind of rushing up there in traffic. Naomi, he's going to overcome all that and finish a real big second. Gets beat on that. Gets a 74 Buyer speed figure. And now they stretch him out to a mile today. I don't understand it, but your thoughts on Al Brown's debut last out?
As you mentioned, he does give them at least 2 lengths at the start there. So that was his first start. So I have to forgive him for that, because for first starts for horse, they're a little bit more inexperienced than the others that probably have had a couple of runs on their belt. I use him on top here based on the fact that I thought he closed well in that last run. Perhaps 7 furlong would have been better than a mile, or indeed, like you mentioned, stay at 6 furlong. But that last closing run, I thought that was good enough to hopefully see him at the distance here today. And if he just breaks well and perhaps not use as much speed early, as much energy early as he did last time, that this could be suitable.
Well, he's by Shackelford, the Preakness winner. He's out of a Mayan Chaff mare, so he should be able to handle routes, distance of ground. However, I just think it's a big ask. He ran so well in debut. He didn't break very well, but you know he's going to break better in his second start, and it's only his second start. He ran big and going 6 furlongs in his first start. And I know maybe they're thinking the same trainer and owner had a Beulah Pops in the three-quarter race yesterday. So maybe they didn't want to run both horses together. But Al Brown, Beulah Pops ran an okay second yesterday. Al Brown would have been 1-5 and would have galloped. So I just think it's a tough assignment. Ask him to go a mile here in his second start. I use him fourth. Now the 5 Royal Thunder is interesting. I didn't use the 5 at all. 6-5 beaten favored last out, but I was coming off the layoff, and now he's making his second start for trainer Brittany Russell. And you caught up with Brittany the other morning. Here's that interview. Brittany Russell talking about her mineshaft 3-year-old Royal Thunder in race 1.
I think he's doing better this time going into this race. We've had him a bit longer. We have that race under his belt now. I will say he's a bit of a head scratcher, though. He showed tons of speed in his races out in California, but we're not sure that's really what he wants to do is sprint. So, his pedigree looks like maybe he could get a little bit of a route, and he's learning to relax in the morning. So, I think it'll be a nice test to see where we're at with him.
Okay, so they're getting him to relax in the mornings. That's good. He's a well-bred horse by Mineshaft out of a Not for Love mare, so hopefully he can relax and appreciate the stretch out to a mile today. I didn't use him at all. You have him in your exacta.
Well, I use him based on the fact that I think Brittany's very good with young horses. This will be his second start as a 3-year-old, and I know that they conditioned him well. And yesterday, the double of them makes me just think, okay, the barn is doing something right with these 3-year-olds. They know how to get them ready, and he can be competitive in here. And as you mentioned, he did come over from the West Coast, which made you think that he wants to be sprinting because it's all speed up there. But she says, I think he might actually want a bit of a distance. So it's an interesting one, and I'll take it from her.
All right, it's a 6-horse field, and look at our picks. We're all over the place here in race 1. I go with the horse that's a well-seasoned horse, has some conditioning underneath on the 1 Super Dancer with McCarthy aboard. Trevor McCarthy, our leading rider, 2-win day yesterday. He's going to be a nice price, 6-7-1 here on Super Dancer. A 3-year-old by Super Saver for Trez Abbott, a decent third last out. That was first-time blinkers last out and a big improvement. This will be his third time going a route of ground, second time blinkers. You get the hot rider McCarthy. I think the 1 Super Dancer is very attractive at a nice price here in race 1.
Well, he's an interesting one. He is turning back to a one-turn mile, instead of the 2-turn miles. So I'd say that you should think that that's a little bit easier for him as a 3-year-old. So perhaps that gives him a bit of relief. As you mentioned, Trevor McCarthy, very hot. Looking at the winner at Toy, he's a legitimate about 60 buyer horse. That's what he ran here that day. He'd run near those figures before, so I thought that legitimized the form. Didn't use him myself. I'm staying away from the 1 hole like you sometimes do. No, I thought it was interesting. I had him in the mix, but ended up not using him. So this will be in a good little maiden special weight to start the day with.
Yeah, interesting. I just realized I forgot my early pick 5. The early pick 5 starts in race 1. Let's show you the early pick 5 action. It's a mandatory payout on this early pick 5, industry low 12% takeout. Let's show you my ticket real quick. It's a $54 early pick 5 ticket. I used a 6 here, Al Brown, but I'm against him. I'm 4 deep here in race 1, so maybe I get a nice price. I have the 1 Super Dancer on top here in race 1. My single is going to come race 5. That's the $100,000 Nellie Morse. I think it's going to be a big day for trainer Kelly Rubley and jockey Julian Pimentel. I like him with the 2 Arafana, the 9-5 favored in race 5 to Nellie Morse. I also like him with Always Mining later on in the Harrison E. Johnson. All right, so we've covered race 1. It's a nice maiden special weight to kick off this 11-race program and the early pick 5. Let's turn the page. Race 2 starts, the early pick 4. Naomi has a ticket. Naomi, let's check it out and see how you play it.
I do indeed. I start off going 4 deep in this race. I think it's an interesting one that could go either way. I go with the 1A, which actually now I believe just the 1 after a scratch is 1, 2, 4, and 8. But I put the 8 horse on top here as we're going over a mile. I thought that my man Pots and Pans have shown a lot of good races before that. Was very seasoned for the Kelly Rubley barn. He was favored at this level in his last race. Didn't do well enough to win, but he jumped strongly, and I thought that he left a little bit in the tank there, hopefully for this race. And I go 2 deep in race 3, the 2 and the 6, with the 6 being my top choice here. Colonel Shop, Charlie Marquez on board. Do think he might be a nice value. I think it's about 6-1 morning line. Charlie Marquez taking that £7 of that last race he ran the 21st of February. wasn't really to suit. A lot of early pace. He spent a lot of energy running up front there and just couldn't close. But if you look back at his other races, the 2nd of August and the 19th of June, he's run ridiculously good buyers, 84.92. That really can put him ahead of this field if he even returns a little bit to that form. And then in race 4, I go 4 and 7, so 2 deep. The 4 being my top choice here, bust off. And then in race 5, I finish up with the 1, 2, and the 5 for a $24 ticket.
Okay, let's just check out our picks real quick here for race 2, and then we got to speed along here. Race 2, I have the 8 on top. We got to get to the stakes action. The 8, my man, Pots and Pans for Ruby Pimentel. We both have the 8 on top here, race 2.
Yeah, so that makes it pretty straightforward, right? We think my man Pots and Pants is going to come home for the win from the Cali Ruby stable. Very good stable that Aussie's got her big horse in today as well. And I thought he did well enough in that last race and can really move forward from that.
All right, good stuff. Let's turn the page. Race 3, we're going 6 furlongs. Nice 16,000 starter allowance for 4-year-olds and upward. The 2, Sir Orinoco, and the 3, Stroll Smoking, your heavy favorites here in race 3. I go with them both on top. You go against them. Let's start with the 3, Stroll Smoking. 8-5 morning line favorite. Sharp winner last out for Jerry Robb. And the X-Man finds a nice cozy starter allowance condition today. Stroll Smoking, a 5-time winner here at Laurel Park. I put him on top.
Yeah, very much like the 3, Stroll Smoking. The only thing is that I think he might be vulnerable here based on such a great career, well, nearly career best effort last time out, and that he got quite free on the lead there. And I think that's not going to be the case today. I think maybe number 6 and 7 are going to put a bit of pressure on him from the outside. And if he doesn't respond well to that, that just might take the race away from him.
I like Colonel Sharp. He's a nice horse for trainer Hugh McMahon. You put him on top, second off the layoff. He's going to run better today. Trust me. Nice bullet workout March 7th. You get the hot bug. You're getting 7 pounds off.
Yeah, I thought he was a really interesting horse. Not that keen on the 6, the wide draw, but has a lot of speed. So I think he's going to come over and hopefully run back to the figures that he's shown in the 2 starts before, which were very, very high for this level.
All right, some nice sprinters there in race 3. Let's turn the page. Race 4 is going to kick off the middle pick 4. We're going 1.25 miles, a classic distance here in race 4. It's a 16,000 starter allowance, race 4 and up. Nice $32,000 purse. I go with the 7, Jaffazo on top. You pick him second. Let's show you his last race, late February, against 3 other than Allowance Company. Here they are turning for home. Jaffazo's the 2. John Jones in the middle there with the white blinkers. John Jones going to win this battle by a head, but Jaffazo a real big second with a 92 buyer speed figure.
And that was such a great finish for the Lacey Goddard stable, running the 1-2 there with her big horse, John Jones. And Jaffazo being very, very game. And I also think that if you look at what he's done in the past, he's won over, he's done very well over 1 mile and an eighth before. This is 1.25 miles. It's a bit of a distance, but he's shown that he can see the distance out. And if you look at the way that he was running there, he just keeps going. He wasn't stopping at all there. Yep. So that really bodes well for the 1.25 mile distance. We don't have that often here at Laurel Park.
Yeah, it'll be a nice distance. So I have Jaffazo on top. I didn't use the 4 at all, but you're getting 8-1 on bust off, and you're getting weight off with Charlie Marquez aboard.
Well, basically, to me, there was a significant rider change. If you look at 7 pounds over 1.25 miles, you're looking at about 4 to 4.5 lengths advantage. And I do think that might just put him in the mix here. And I thought it'd be an interesting one to keep an eye on. Has done well in the past, I thought, over 1 mile, but really does have to see the distance out. But I thought I'd go with a bit of a price play. Hopefully this is going to come off.
He looks like the speed of the race, so we'll see how far he can go. So nice 1.25 mile starter allowance race there in race 4 to kick off the middle pick 4. The stakes action starts. Race 5, the $100,000 Nellie Morris for filly mares 4 and up. It's a wide open stake, no restrictions on our $100,000 stake races today. We're going a flat mile. The 2, Arafana, your very deserved 9-5 morning line favorite. Let's show you her race. I put her on top. Let's show you her race from November 1st here at Laurel Park. She was stepping up from a 2 other than. She skipped a 3 other than condition. This was an open allowance condition. She wins going 1 mile and a 16th with her regular rider Pimentel aboard. She gets an 85 buyer speed figure in this win. After this win, she'd go up to New York late November in a good second as the favorite in the Grade 3 Comely, going 9 furlongs late November. She's had a couple months off. Now she's fresh and rested. She's a 4-year-old daughter of Curlin, is making her 4-year-old debut today. And just like Always Mining is having a monster start to his 4-year-old year, I think we're going to see the same here from Arafana.
Very much think she is a deserving favorite. I put her in second, just trying to perhaps make a bit of a play in the race, but wow, she did look very good. I don't think that was a hard race on her either that last time out at Aqueduct. She's really right behind the speed, not asked too much, then well ridden out, but not in a way that I thought would give her a hard race. Because when you're looking at fillies, especially 3-year-olds, you don't want them to come back too fast, too hard. She's about 2.5 months away from the track, so all positives for her really. Because that winner there, Bellara, if I say the back, she came back to win another stake over a mile and an eighth, so that all backs it up perfectly.
All right, so I use the favorite on top. I didn't use the 5 at all. Hora Logis for trainer Richard Bautis. Angel Suarez will ride, coming off a little bit of a layoff. 9-2 here on the 5.
I thought Horologist was an interesting one. She traveled all the way up from Santa Anita. Is, of course, Richard Baltusbon. Lacey Goodette's been looking after her, so that gives me a lot of faith because I know that Lacey's very good at conditioning horses in general, but especially fillies. I really feel that she is in good hands there. Now, the only worries I have is that she has had a couple of breaks in between her racing. 63 days break she comes off and 84 days before that. But if you look at what she's been doing before, she won the Monmouth Oaks Grade 3, 94 by. I really think that she's been running very well, and then she was in the Cotillion running third behind Incredible Fillies, Street Band and Guarana, and I mean that's the top of the top 3-year-old fillies, so for her to run third behind them makes me think that there is a lot of class there, and if she can turn up even a little bit here today, she might just be the outside horse that came in and snatched up the prize money.
All right, so Horologist making her second start as a 4-year-old. She has the back class from her 3-year-old campaign. I didn't get to her. Let's take a look at a 10-1 local long shot here. The 6 Bye Bye Birdie for Hammy Smith. The barn had a nice win yesterday. McCarthy rides this 4-year-old daughter of alternation. She was impressive as a 2-year-old, and she's come back even more impressive as a 4-year-old. She's 2 for 2 as a 4-year-old. You caught up with Hammy Smith the other morning. Here's what he has to say about his lightly raced 4-year-old filly, Bye Bye Birdie.
It all depends on the break, but I expect her to be up close, and we will probably try to go to the lead with her, and if they want to come with us, well, so be it. But there's 1 or 2 horses in there that's got a little lick with us, but we got to step up quite a bit. We've never run in any stakes before, and everyone else has, and we've never been the distance, and everyone else has. So we've got to really step up to compete with this bunch. It's a good bunch. They're nice horses.
Well, she's lightly raced. I appreciate the patient horsemanship here they've done with Bye Bye Birdie. Your thoughts on her stretching out to a mile today? And you heard Amy Smith saying that she's going to be part of the early pace.
Yeah, he said she's going to be ridden aggressively. I do think there's a bit more speed in this race. Victim of Love and Horologist probably going to move forward as well. So it's going to be a tough challenge. She's up to it here, and I like the way he's positioned. Because he says, you know what? If we're not in it, we can't win it. So we're going to put her in, and we're going to see if she treads water in this deep field. And it is going to be tricky because, as you mentioned, she is stepping up to the mile for the first time. But looking at her last race, 7 furlong, she saw that out perfectly. So you think that the extra 1 furlong shouldn't be too much of a difference or bother for her.
All right, so no scratches in the 7-horse field. $100,000 Nellie Morse, no changes at all. Race 5 kicks off the stakes action. Let's get a quick commercial break. Race 6 kicks off that Rainbow Pick 6. Carryover today, almost $15,000. I have a ticket for it. We'll check it out right after this.
And they're off. Second in the 2-path. Ground on her inside. Race. And a 1/4 of a mile to go, and he's 6 on top. It's last of the 12 as they roll into the backstretch.
All right, follow all the action with First Bet, the official handicapping and betting app of the Maryland Jockey Club. Visit first.com/bet to sign up, and don't forget promo code FIRSTMJC for your $100 match bonus. Let's get right to race 6, a nice second-level allowance condition 4 and up, going 7 furlongs. We kick off the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6 in race 6. Nice number there, 14,583. This will be around 20, 25, maybe 30,000 today in the Pick 6 hopper. Let's check out my ticket, a $48 ticket, very affordable play. I'm 4 deep here in race 6. Maybe I can get a price home with the 10 Fortunate Friends at 6-1. I like the 1 Cerulean Springs a little bit at 5-1, so maybe I'll get a price here in race 6. Race 7's the $100,000 Beyond the Wire for 3-year-old fillies. I have the 8, She's My Sunshine, on top at 10-1. I go 1-3-8 in that race. Race 8, I have the 2 favorites, a 5 and a 9. Race 9, I single on the champion, the Maryland-bred 3-year-old champion, Always Mining, trying to remain undefeated as a 4-year-old. I single on Always Mining in the Harrison E. Johnson. Race 10, I'm against all the favorites in race 10. I'm against Lebda, I'm against Big City Bob, and I'm against the 7 Took Charge. My top pick in private terms, the 5 Mine That Mine at 5 to 1. I also like the Pletcher Curlin Colt Awesome Party, a recent 9 furlong winner up there at Aqueduct. Gets Trevor McCarthy, could be a runner. They paid $700,000 for him, so I use the 6 Awesome Party in the private terms. I'm 5 deep. Take out the 1 Good Luck Jonathan in race 11. The 8 Galleria is going to be your favorite in that race, but I'm 5 deep, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 in race 11. Let's take a look here at race 6. A nice 2 other than going 7 furlongs. I put the war horse, Bobby G. Your first day on the job, you met Bobby G back in the Jose Corrales barn. He just keeps on winning. Big win last out. He's won he's won twice before. He's a 2-time winner going 7 furlongs. He just had a nice win last out going 6.5. I put the 3 Bobby G on top.
I said Warhorse is a good description. He was quite an imposing gelding, and it was nice to meet him back at the barns indeed. And he has a bit of a closing style. I think that might help him here today. There's a bit of speed on his outsides, so that might set it up for him. I didn't end up putting him on top because I'm going to go with the speed. But this is a tough race. This is quite an open race. I think this can play out either way, so it'll be interesting.
All right, you have a nice 8 to 1 shot on top here. Alex Centron for trainer Mark Reed has had a little freshening this winter time. He's a 4-time winner at Laurel Park. I didn't get to the 8 at all, but you have a nice 8 to 1 shot on top for live connections.
Yeah, son of City Zip. And I look back at the 15th of December over this trip and this course here. 7 furlongs, 93 buyer to win a nice allowance race there. Really good speed figures, really put the pressure on them. Started up and he just kept building and closed very strongly. And I thought that was very impressive. Now, the race after that, 10th of January, on a muddy 6.5 furlong track, he was having none of it. So I'm going to put a line through that and hope that he runs up to what he showed 2 races back.
All right, we both agree on the 7 here. Tappin' Cat from the Gary Capuano barn. Trevor McCarthy rides this 4-year-old by Tri-Tap. He likes it here at Laurel Park. Didn't run too well last out, going a mile in a 16th, but I love to cut back to 7 furlongs today.
Yeah, I think that will suit him well. Although the race before that, the 19th of January, he was beaten there by only a neck. They went fast, slow, fast, which kind of upgrades a horse a little bit, because if they're running on even fractions, that tells me that they're using a bit more energy than if they would do a bit more even speed. So I'm hoping that he's going to run somewhere near that again today.
All right, so nice 2 other than allowance race, going 7 furlongs to kick off our big rainbow pick 6. Let's turn the page. Late pick 5 starts in race 7. No carryover. They hit it yesterday, but as always, that industry low 12% takeout on all the pick 5s here at the Maryland Jockey Club at Laurel Park. Let's take a look. Race 7, we're back to stakes action here to kick off the late pick 5. We're going a flat mile, the $100,000 Beyond the Wire for straight 3-year-old fillies. This race a prep for the Weber City Miss in April, which is the Weber City Miss in April is a win, and you're in for the Black-Eyed Susan. Now, my price play of the day, you like her a little bit as well. On the outside, the 8, She's My Sunshine, 10 to 1 morning line. She's coming out of the wide country. That was won by Naughty Thoughts. Princess Katie was second, but She's My Sunshine was a good third after a troubled start. Let's show you that start for She's My Sunshine in the wide country, okay? She was breaking from the 2-hole, going 7 furlongs. You see that real bad stumble, and she bumped the one coming out of the gate there. That was Bella Aurora, right? So you see the bad start again there for She's My Sunshine after that stumble. Now, she overcame that. Okay, and then we'll cut to the stretch here. She overcame that to finish a decent third, only beaten 5 3/4. Here they are turning for home. Now, She's My Sunshine was 42 to 1 in the wide country. She outran her odds, gets a 70 buyer speed figure. I put her on top today. But there's Naughty Thoughts in front, wire-to-wire winner in the wide country with an 82 buyer speed figure. Then Princess Katie, a good second in the wide country. So those 3 fillies look tough here in today's Beyond the Wire.
Yeah, Naughty Thoughts took no prisoners there. And as you mentioned, Bella Aurora basically took the bump there from She's My Sunshine. Also, Mike Trombetta mentioning, well, that would have taught her to come out of the gate quicker. So it'll be a very interesting renewal here today. And I used her as well based on that troubled trip. But also, if you look at the stretch run, she just was kind of swung around a bit. And in a way, Green, or the jockey, was kind of trying to just get her a bit more excited. And I do think if if she just breaks cleanly and gets a bit close to the speed today, perhaps just a bit more of a smooth trip that saves her energy that she can then use late.
She's a nice filly. You caught up with trainer Mike Trombetta talking about that troubled start in the wide country for Bella Aurora. Here's what Trombetta had to say.
She had trained really well going into the race. Just turned out it was a disappointing afternoon. She didn't get away good, and then when she did kind of mount a run, she was wide and she just flattened out in the stretch. Not typical of her performances. So hopefully this time she gets away from the gate a little better and she can find her way around there without losing some ground and maybe have a better outcome. Learn to get out of the gate much better would be good. So yeah, I mean, it's very hard to give up 3 or 4 lengths to quality horses and then try to gate it back going and losing ground to do it. So it takes an exceptional horse to be able to do that. And she's a nice enough filly, but that was a huge ask. You know, she's done short turf. She's done 3/4 and 7/8. So we'll see if she's a mile horse. I think she should be. She hasn't done 2 turns yet, but I'd just like to see her get a fair shot at it. Just try to get away clean and grab the spot that he wants. And I think it's all about just grabbing whatever position you think you need to be in. I think you need to get there and try to jump into it.
Okay, so there's trainer Mike Trombetta and Country Life Farm. They had a big day yesterday with Let's Play 9. Bella Aurora, she had the dreaded 1 hole last out. She gets a better post today, and yeah, she's a nice filly. I overlooked her. Well, I use her a little bit, but I don't blame you for taking a shot, putting her back on top here.
Yeah, I think that race just really didn't run to suit for her at all as we all watched it. I think that if you look at her type and the way that she strides out, I think that a mile should suit her well. And he said, Trombetta said that he likes her for that as well. And she's been such a consistent and good 2-year-old. She won the Gin Talking Stakes back in December. I really think that she hopefully would have learned to get out of the gate a tiny bit quicker to get a bit more straightforward right here. And I like the 4 draw as well. That should keep her hopefully out of trouble.
All right, so only 1 scratch in the Beyond the Wire. Take out the 7 Long Point Beach. Nice group of 7 3-year-old fillies here in race 7. Let's turn the page. Race 8's a claiming 16,000, going 6 furlongs for straight 3-year-old fillies. I put the 5 Vic's Cool Cat on top. You picked the 5. You picked the 5 second. I didn't get to the 8. Talk about the 8. Always Talking 9-2, second off the claim for Kieran McGee.
I basically used Always Talking because I think there's not that much speed in this race. So I thought, okay, I'm going to go with an angle here. If there's not that much speed in this race, and this filly has a lot of speed, has been running against a bit more tougher company before, perhaps she can do what she did on the 2nd of February, which is she went to the front and just went gate to wire without any pressure from anyone. So I'm hoping that that's going to be the case.
All right, so Vic's Cool Cat, your 5-2 favorite in this event. You go with Always Talking on top at 9-2. Let's turn the page back to stakes action here in race 9 to kick off the final pick 3 of the day in race 9. We're going 9 furlongs, a mile and an eighth, and $100,000 Harrison E. Johnson Memorial 4 and up. Some nice horses in here. Let's start with the Maryland-bred 3-year-old champion, Always Mining. He won the private terms on this day last year. He's a perfect 2 for 2 as a 4-year-old. Let's show you his dead game win last out in the John B. Campbell. Here's the race on February 15th. Here they are turning for home. Always Mining down there on the inside. He's going against Monica Gila, who is the heavy favored in this race. Looks like Always Mining might be beat now, but look at him come back with that tenacity on the inside. He runs a 103 buyer with this big game win here, Naomi.
I thought that was incredibly game, as you mentioned. The only worry I have today is because it was such a hard race. He was pressured all the way by Monongahela on his outside. Basically, to get up and win like he did shows character and shows class as well, I thought. So he is the deserving favorite, or I think he will be the deserving favorite anyway. I tried to go against him just based because I think that perhaps that race took a little bit out of it, because that was tough. He had to fight for that from the gate to the wire.
Yep, all right, so you pick Someday Jones on top for John Service. Trevor McCarthy to ride, a 7-year-old son of Smarty Jones. He's made almost $600,000. You know the back class is there. He's a closer, so maybe needs a little bit of a setup in front of him. You pick him on top, I pick him second.
He's been posting 2 triple-digit buyers in his last race, and he didn't get to them last time out because the 2 front ones, they were just gone, but he was closing every stride. So I think that perhaps Someday Jones, having had such a hard race as Always Mining had last time out, could just turn the tables like he has before. So we'll see how that works out.
All right, so Someday Jones 5-2 morning line, Always Mining 2-1 morning line. The one senior investment I use in my trifecta. This horse in very razor sharp form right now for Scott Lake. How about Name Changer? Name Changer, a lightly raced 7-year-old by Uncle Mo. He's made over $500,000. He's a perfect 2 for 2 here at Laurel Park. Won at Grade 3 a couple years ago.
Well, I think that basically my notes were fresh and very fast. So I'm hoping that that's going to combine to him setting the pace, or at least being right up front there, and possibly running a bit better than you'd expect him to. But he's been shown that he can be right up there at this level. If you look at, for example, the 22nd of December Aqueduct in 2018, he's done incredibly well. Very fast fractions, all red. So that basically means that they went breathtaking speed. But like you mentioned, he is coming off that longer layoff, and he's coming off a 15 weeks break just now. So if fresh and fast is going to work, we'll find out.
All right, so no changes here in the Harrison E. Johnson 7 top older horses to kick off the final pick 3. All right, Always Mining, my top pick. He's the horse to beat. Let's turn the page. The big feature of the day for 3-year-olds, $100,000 private terms for 3-year-olds, going a mile and a 16th. Of course, this race named after Private Terms, who was a champion back here in the 80s for the late Charlie H. Hadry. Private Terms was the favorite for the Kentucky Derby his 3-year-old year. No good in the Derby, but he went on to be a real good 4-year-old, and nice that we still have a 3-year-old stake named after Private Terms and Charlie H. Hadry. So scratch the 3, Amen Corner in this race. We both go with the 5, Mine Not Mine on top. 5-1 morning line for trainer Brittany Russell. Sheldon Russell rides his 3-year-old colt by Golden Lad. He's out of an unbridled mare. Belterra's been a solid producer. They paid $210,000 for this horse at that Joseph E. Bessaker dispersal sale last December at Fasig-Tipton. They knew he was a runner based on his 2-year-old form. He was an impressive debut winner for Claudio, and then had a trouble trip maybe in the Maryland Juvenile Futurity. Ran okay that day. Let's show you the race coming off the layoff for Mine That Mine in the Miracle Wood, February 15th. Here's Lebda in front by 7 as they straighten away, right? And Mine That Mine comes 4 wide. He was 16 lengths out of it down the backstretch, and comes with a real strong rally to finish second. Looked like Lebda's home free right now, but Mine That Mine keeps coming, and this was coming off a couple month layoff. He's going to run better today, second off the layoff.
I remember watching this race from the winner's circle and holding my breath, because Mine Not Mine was coming with a huge run on the outside, and I was wondering if Alex Sintron or Lebda knew he was there. And then I asked Brittany, he went, well, Alex Sintron has ridden Mine Not Mine before, so he knows what kind of horse he is, so he knew he was coming and only just held on. But Lebda ran a huge race there as well, very fast fractions. But I put Mine Not Mine on top based on the fact that Brittany actually mentioned that this was a bit of a race that came a week too early, and that the screws would have been tightened. Hopefully it's going to be a tiny bit closer to the pace. He probably won't be 16 lengths off, but he's never going to make the lead though.
Well, you caught up with Russell the other morning. Here's what Brittany Russell has to say about Mine That Mine, 5-1 today in the Private Terms.
We thought it was a really great effort. We were actually thinking about going into the allowance race that was in the book the next week. So I didn't really have him as tight maybe as he could have been, but we thought the 1 mile, the 1-turn mile, was a great place to start, and he ran huge. We think he'll really move forward from that effort. It's really never the plan to be that far out of it, but sometimes that's just a horse's style, and you don't really want to change their natural way of running. I think the 2 turns will help him in the sense that he should be naturally placed closer. But we're just gonna let him get comfortable and do what he prefers, which would definitely be come off the pace. We haven't changed a whole lot. He's never a super flashy workhorse in the morning. The plan is always just to keep him on the bridle and let him have a nice gallop out, and he's always done that since day 1 that we've had him. So it's more about just making sure when he gallops out after his works, he's running around that 2nd turn, which he always does. I'm happy going into it. Let's just say that.
All right, well, trainer Brittany Russell's happy, and I guess so. She had a 2-win day yesterday with Sheldon Russell aboard, and I was watching the horse there, Mine That Mine. He looked happy, too, munching on that hay net. He looks like a bright, healthy horse, a big, good-looking horse by Golden Lad. He's well-bred. They paid a bunch of money for him. I think it pays off today in the Private Terms.
When he's, as you mentioned, a big horse, we actually had cameraman Phil having to crouch down to make sure we can get him and Brittany in the shot. And Brittany mentioned he's been really filling out as well. He was a little bit light, and he's really muscling up and putting on a bit of weight. So very excited to see what he'll do today. And we both put him on top. So fingers crossed.
All right, now the 6 Awesome Party, I think, is a nice 3-year-old colt by Curlin. They paid $700,000 for this well-bred horse at the Keeneland yearling sale. No good in debut at Gulfstream back in January, but he put it all together. Blinkers went on in his second start. Maiden special weight going 9 furlongs at Aqueduct. A big win up there. The buyer speed figure a little low, so you're going to get a big price on the 6 Awesome Party. I use them in the exacta. I didn't get to the 7 at all. Took Charge has a couple big flashy buyer speed figures going 5 furlongs last year as a 2-year-old, then a long layoff, 6 furlongs as a 3-year-old, and that's it. Now they want him to go a mile and a 16th, so I didn't like that on the 7 Took Charge, but he's going to be one of the favorites based on those buyer speed figures.
Yeah, and he is going to be on the outside, but he has enough speed to move forward. Now, I just wanted to highlight that he beat 3 Technique on his debut. 3 Technique then went on to run second in the Smarty Jones and is competing in the Rebel today, one of the prime 3-year-old preps in the country at the moment. So I thought there was a lot of backlash coming into this. And if you look at his debut as a 3-year-old, I think he went very hard. He had a horse on his inside pushing him on, and that means that he used up a lot of energy. So I'm hoping that he can perhaps get a bit of an easier trip today and save that energy and continue going. I just thought I had to include him based on that really sort of intriguing form.
All right, so we both use Leb to third. He's going to be the pace setter from the inside with Centron aboard. Big City Bob, third in a Grade 1 Champagne last October. Hasn't run since then. Tough assignment coming off the layoff, going 2 turns against some nice 3-year-olds here in the private term. So scratch the 3, Amen corner. That's it. Nice 6-horse field in the private terms to kick off the late daily double. Let's show you race 11 real quick. It's Quinella time in race 11 with that low 10% takeout. Last live race. Every racing day we have the Quinella. Race 11, scratch the 1, Good Luck Jonathan. So I end up on the favorite here. The 8, Gallerio is going to be a popular favorite here for Claudio. Alex Centron will ride this 4-year-old by Jumpstart. A big flashy win last out, 7.5 lengths. Gets a lifetime best 79 buyer.
Yeah, I think we both ended up on him. He is on the outside, has the speed to move forward. That last race was very strong. All triple-digit buyers. He just went for it and never looked back, basically. He's had about a month to recover from that effort. He's a gelding. I think Claudio has had him ticking over, and of course Claudio Gonzalez being our leading trainer, I'm not questioning anything he's doing. So I'd say he'll just be the winner here and deserving favorite.
All right, so we both have Gallerio on top in race 11. We like the same 4 horses here in the finale. That's it. We're out of time. Big 11 race card starts in 24 minutes. We're the only game in town. Sit back and relax on watchlaurelpark.com on the live stream. You can bet with first.com/bet. Get that $100 match handicap and bet on first.com bet, the official online handicapping and betting app of the Maryland Jockey Club. Use promo code FIRSTMJC for your $100 match bonus on first.com bet. Pick 6 carryover, almost $15,000. That starts in race 6. Stakes action starts in race 5. We're out of time. Dave Rodman coming up next with scratches and changes. Good luck.